My name is Yvette Christie. I'm a survivor, lived experience expert.
My name is Keith Owens. I am a retired special agent with the Department of Homeland Security Investigations.
My name is Jeff Grandy. I've served with the Dallas Police Department for 16 years, but the last 6 been assigned to crimes against children.
I'm Leilani Hinton. I'm the Assistant Clinical Director for the Dallas County Juvenile Department.
I'm Yolanda Jones. I am the CEO of AIDS Interfaith Network. I have been a volunteer with Traffick911 since 2016, and now I am a board member.
My name is Jeff Sherman. I was a board member for Traffick911 from 2010 to 2015.
And Jeff has been an advisor for me and sounding board over all the years, and has a unique vantage point of seeing us kind of from the internal side of the organization from almost inception into the 15-year mark.
Those early days, like every startup, they were pretty fledgling, right? We're just trying to find our sea legs, if you want to call it that, and figure out what we wanted to do to tackle this problem. And like many of us, I lived in complete ignorance that this was even going on in my country, much less my backyard, right? So I always thought it was a third world problem. So when I first got exposure to this issue and learned that this is not just happening in third world countries, this is happening right here, and it's even happening in your backyard, I said, oh no, it's not. No, I'm gonna do something about it. And thankfully, Traffick911 afforded me the opportunity to roll up our sleeves and start figuring out how we wanted to address this. We were just a bunch of volunteers. We didn't have much money, so it was very much a volunteer-led organization.
So we would go into the juvenile detention centers. We did this amazing presentation that really explained what is trafficking. And it really just painted a picture of every type of trafficker that there was. And so after the presentation, we would do a thing where we would ask the girls, what did you think about the video? What spoke to you? And so some of them at that time will reveal to any of the volunteers. And as I said before, at that time, it was very much so volunteer-based. We had Sherry with us, who trained us all, but it was a room full of volunteers, and our job was to bring snacks and do these presentations. And they would write out, or they will say, this happened to me. Once the girl revealed to whomever she felt most comfortable with, then we had our steps of notifying the police, who would come do a rape report and collect all this information, and we would start that journey with them.
We started working with Traffick911. They referred some very great cases to us that we were able to investigate. Just a phenomenal, fantastic advocacy for anti-human trafficking. And we were able to get a lot of cases prosecuted. One of those cases was a referral, and I was able to track down the traffickers and bring them to justice and bring some justice for the victim. Our office is just, we're in awe regarding Traffick911.
And in the early days, we started and we had all this awareness and got going in a lot of things just organically. And our hope was that we would open a home, because we all thought, in our ignorance, honestly, was just like, what these kids need is a home. They just need a bedspread and some love and a teddy bear and, you know, church.
We did open a home. We called it Triumph House. I loved the name because we wanted to move these children from survivors to thrivers, right? So we intentionally did that, but speaking of ignorance, we were completely ignorant as to the level of care, the specialized care that these children need. We genuinely thought we're just gonna open a house, we're gonna make it in a remote area so that they won't have triggers or they won't be able to be found, and we're just gonna love on them. As more awareness started happening, we started partnering better with other organizations. And we really found our swim lane in the advocacy area and let others who were doing that restoration work better with homes and aftercare do their thing so that we could focus in on doing our thing.
As a youth that did not have advocacy during childhood trauma, I believe Traffick911 changes lives. I'm an adult survivor working on a doctorate, trying to publish a book, and Traffick911 visits with me. I call them when I'm weak, I call them when I need. They employ me. I wonder who I would have been if I had had an advocate from Traffick911. I fed spiritually off of the energy of people as I matured. And I tell people all the time, direct care service providers, advocates, that when I could not dream, I used the faith and the hope of others. And so it was more than just getting through moments of trauma. It was the ability to see myself differently than what my narrative had told me. And so it gave my dreaming a different trajectory, and it told me that I wasn't just what had happened to me. But that's the reason why I serve with Traffic 911, because of the tenderness and the gentle witness that you all provide, along with resources.
So when we get called in the middle of the night, Traffic 911 gets called in the middle of the night as well, because we know that one of those resources that they need, like I was mentioning before, they need somebody just to show them that, hey, there is a better way to live, and it is available to you. Having a Traffic 911 advocate respond to headquarters or to the Dallas County Advocacy Center, wherever we're going to do these interviews and set up shop and everything, having them respond with a bag of food in hand, right? With a Sprite, with French fries, with a change of clothing sometimes, because a lot of times they're pulled right off the street in literally nothing but a see-through bikini, right? And to have something warm for them, and for them to come into that room and not be talking about the offense, right? And they know, and you know, it's not like we lead with that, but for them to know, like, that's not where this is going. And for them to know, I'm really responding in the middle of the night for you. And then it's further proven when they sit there for 8 hours at the hospital, just talking about whatever they want to talk about.
And showing up with that backpack and that teddy bear, the teddy bear was something safe to hug that won't hurt you. And so many times out in the life, your life is scattered, and that backpack just represents this small symbol of home. And so I love that they show up with that as well. I often think about that teddy bear and how often you touch humans and things and they do you harm, but that bear with the advocate represents a safe place to connect.
So when we hand off a child, it brings a lot of joy to me to know that they're in good hands with Traffic 911 and the advocates who are willing to hold these kids by the hand and show them there is a better way to live and you can do it. It is available to you. So there's become an abundance of resources available to these kids. They don't know anything about that, but the advocate does. And I've seen these advocates sit down for hours on end filling out paperwork on behalf of these kids just so that they can get these resources. You quickly recognize in law enforcement, hey, this is a much bigger problem than what we are built for, right? And we have our spot, right? We have our place in solving the problem. But if it's just law enforcement, then all it is whack-a-mole. That's all it is. But to solve the problem, like I said, one way to solve the problem and to really help move the ball down the field is getting these kids what they need long-term, not just being saved in the moment. And that's where Traffic 911 comes in.
Traffic 911 to me embodies advocacy, and the trust-based relationships that are formed with our youth are monumental. When they're in the community, before they come in, it's when they're in detention, it's when they are adjudicated and go to placements, that advocate is meeting them in all those different places, which I think is really unique. Traffic 911 has served several boys as well. And once they're assigned an advocate, that advocate can meet them. It doesn't matter what the offense is. I see the Traffic 911 advocates advocate to the same level of intensity for a kid that has a runaway charge as they do for a kid that has a murder charge. And there's no judgment there. It doesn't matter what your offense is, you are not your offense. They're gonna show up with that same level of service and intensity. They show up not just for the big things like court, they're there for that, but also really small things. We had one girl that was in our shelter and she put together a whole fashion show. And her advocate came to that, was on the front row, cheering her on, and the look on her face She was so proud. I've been in rooms where there's all these agencies and they all have their own agendas. You got CPS, we have juvenile department, we have FBI, law enforcement, and everybody is there. DAs, they have their own agenda too. And previously, there was no one there supporting the kid. They did not have an adult in the room that had their back, and now they do. But you guys are saving lives. Literally saving young girls and boys' lives.
I loved hearing from our guests today, especially law enforcement and the strong partnership Traffick911 has with them. But I really appreciated the call out that at the end of the day, their purpose is justice, right? And for Keith's point about Traffick911's purpose, our purpose is to build heart-level relationships with that child. Give them a fighting chance. And I love that. That's kingdom work.
And so that's why Traffick911 and the vision that they're casting for the future and the work that they do is so important in informing not just legislation and paperwork and trainings, but like the ethos of the root of human trafficking, which again stems from the human heart. And that's why faith is so important in this word. My prayer is that our coffers would be full, that we would have a broader volunteer base, that our advocates would have the support that they need so that they can work a little bit longer than 2.5 years. And the onus is on us. The onus is on the community. We are responsible for healing our communities. And that means we have to come forward, not only with our prayers, not only with our time, but our checkbooks.
How do we do this work well for a long time? And I hope the organization doesn't grow to the, deficit of the human soul. Because I believe we're all worthy, even staff members or volunteers or whoever it is, we're all worthy to live a slowed down pace of life, a sustainable pace of life. And sometimes in this work, it feels like it's not sustainable, this pace. And my hope and prayer is that we can continue to go deeper in the community, to learn the community, and to learn about ourselves and to stay healthy doing this work for 15 more years, 20 more years.